Tuesday, boys and girls. It is April 7th, 2020, and I have another little friend here today. This is Pinky. Pinky, can you say hello? Hello, boys and girls. So Pinky is going to be teaching you about firefighters today. So our lesson is about firefighters at work. So our mentor read aloud is going to be on that. So I'd like you to think for just a moment and maybe predict what you think it might be about. You can say your answers out loud. And then I'm going to turn to the text so that you can see the photographs in the book. So here we can see photographs down here of firefighters and over here. So ask yourself, what kind of pictures are these? Are they real photos or are they illustrations? If you think they're real photos and you think this is going to be a real story, it's going to be a nonfiction story, you can say it out loud or do a thumbs up. If you think it's a fiction story, do a thumbs down. If you guessed it's a nonfiction, oh, I guessed it's a nonfiction. Very good, Pinky. Then you are correct that it is a nonfiction because the photographs are real. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the recording. And just before that, again, let's review that this is a nonfiction. It has real photographs, and you will see here that it has labels, and it's labeling some things. So I want you to listen very carefully to the reading, because you're going to be learning a lot of information about firefighters.
Firefighters at work.
It's 7 a.m. and these firefighters are going home. They have finished their shift. They have been at work since yesterday morning, and now they are tired. A new group of firefighters is just arriving, fresh and ready to work. What will their day be like? Their shift starts calmly with breakfast. Then they check their gear to make sure it's in good working order. If something is broken, they will fix or replace it. They check the assignment board. Some school children are coming to visit today. Who will show them around?
Helmet. Jacket.
Oops.
Suddenly, ding, 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 ding. An alarm comes in. There's a fire in a warehouse. No one works slowly now. It's time to act quickly. The firefighters grab their gear and put it on as they race to the trucks. Is everyone ready? Yes. Let's go.
Driver.
Lights flash and sirens scream as the firefighters speed to the fire. They find the hydrants, connect the hoses, and climb the ladder. The skilled firefighters extinguish the flames. Then it's back to the station. But there's no need for speed. There's time to eat and do chores until the next alarm.
Extension ladder. Hose.
Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, and that is the end of our story of firefighters at work. So we're going to take a look at a chart that I have. Whoops. Uh-oh, I just lost my story. Let's see here. Okay, and it looks like this. And we're going to be looking over the details of what we just learned about firefighters at work. Would you like to do that, Pinky? Yes, that would be a lot of fun to learn about the details. So we see up here, I'm just going to go around this bubble map, and it says They fix or replace broken gear. So that's one of the details we learned in our story just now of what firefighters do at work. They act quickly when they hear the alarm. That's very important because they need to get to the emergency and the fire right away. They put out the fire. Of course, they need to speed to the fire in the first place. They put on gear and get to the trucks, and they check their gear. All of these are some details that we just read about in our story. You can go back now and read them yourself. Go around the bubble map to see all the important details and things that a firefighter does. All right, we're going to return back to the story, taking one more peek at our story of firefighters at work. We're actually going to move on to another lesson, working and concentrating on vocabulary. So that is what our next lesson is going to be about. So we will be looking at another type of chart in just a moment. But first, what kinds of things, I want you to think about what kinds of things do firefighters wear? And then what things might firefighters use to put out a fire with? So those are the two things that we're going to be focusing on. So first, we know that firefighters' gear, hold on one second here, that firefighters' gear means something that the firefighters wear. So we learn over here, we see that this gentleman is in front of some firefighter clothing. There's a helmet, there's a jacket. When we look at this photo here, oops, sorry about that, I went too far. Right here, page 34. Okay, and 35. So we see here what they use and what they wear. We see the firefighters are wearing uniforms. A uniform is part of the gear that a firefighter wears. So we can write uniform down on our chart. We also see gear. So these are two different things. These are uniforms they wear that identify who they are when they're out in the public. The gear here is what they need when they are fighting a fire. So we're going to now take a look at a chart that I have prepared for you that looks like this. So it says firefighters gear. And we have, and you can repeat after me, uniforms, helmets, jackets. So one more time, uniforms, helmets, jackets. Very good, Pinky. You repeated those very well. So now we're going to, on the second part of our chart, we see truck parts. So this is a little bit different than what the firefighter's gear is. So let's be thinking, I'm going to go back to the story over here. And I want you to think about the firefighter's truck and what kind of gear they might need. So we see our labels here, driver, extension ladder, hose. So be thinking about the gear, the truck parts that the firefighters have to use and what they need in order to fight a fire. So looking over here, and now we're going, if you could be thinking, what do you think the answer might be? You might have seen it in my chart already. What kind of equipment and truck parts do they need? What do you think, Pinky? Well, I see a ladder. Good. What else? I see a hose. Excellent. Anything else you see, Pinky? Oh, I see a truck. That's right. Without a fire truck, they aren't going to be able to get the gear or the equipment to the fire to fight it. So now I'm going to bring up our chart again, and we see here that we have truck parts and we have hoses and ladders. Excellent, Pinky, you are correct. Now, even though the fire truck is not here, we see the parts on the fire truck. So it says here truck parts, and that's what we're mostly focusing about. So we have our truck, the fire truck, and then we have the parts on the fire truck. So we have lights and we have sirens. Those are very important. Do you know why those are important, Pinky? No, why are those important? Because the sirens warn people that the fire truck is coming so that they will pull off to the side when they're driving down the road. Also, the lights. Both of these combined, the lights and the sirens, help pedestrians that are walking on the street and people driving in cars to know that the fire truck is on its way to an emergency and that they need to pull over. So, with our fire truck, these are the parts that are very important in fighting a fire. Repeat after me, boys and girls, and Pinky, you can repeat after me too. We have lights, lights, sirens, sirens, hoses, hoses, and ladders, ladders. Excellent, very good. And that concludes our lesson today on firefighters at work. So I hope you learned a little something about firefighters, what their gear is that they need in order to fight the fires, what they need to wear to keep them safe, and what equipment they have on their fire trucks in order to fight the fires. Tomorrow we will be doing a shared reading, and then on Thursday we will come back to firefighters at work, and we will be learning more about our firefighters. So, I hope you enjoyed our lesson and have a great, great Tuesday. Bye-bye for now. Say bye-bye, Pinky. Bye-bye. It was nice being here with you today.